Doing a reading for my Libra. Dear Spirit from the Divine Heavenly Realms, I welcome you into this reading for divine guided messages. I'm going to be doing the tricycle spread. Set your intentions on the question at hand. Whatever questions you have, shuffle them around. Okay. So, the Seven of Shoes. Here we see you have many different sources that you can choose from. This first card represents the center, and it gives an indication as to the nature of the question or its current position and significance in your life. You could be working together with someone, helping you make something start off. Something is cooking, something is brewing, and there's many different ways you can go after this is done, after you done cooking up this something creative. Okay, put the second card. The second card is going to represent the land or material aspect. Looking at the issues that are to do with physicality, money, possessions, work. Seems to be like it's a lot of hard work. Something is a load on your shoulders, and you're trying to make your way back home. Make your way back to what you know. Make your way back to what's comfortable for you. But even you see up on his shoulders, is something that you bringing back that's going to bring you joy. Okay. Third card represents the realm of sea and the emotions. Here you can glean what the heart is saying about this matter and how the Aquarian is responding emotionally to the issue. The Two of Wands. So I like the Two of Wands. Is paying attention to your own magic, like paying attention to your own world. And you see the river here is gone with the flow. It's flowing just well for you. Others may not like it. It's the Two of Wands, but it's only one person in the picture. You know, like you might have to cut somebody out of the picture. When it comes to love, in order to get to a certain thing in finances, you may have to cut someone out of the picture. Okay. Okay, so the fourth and final card, explores the realm of sky, a place of thought, creativity, imagination, and inspiration. These are the intangible things surrounding the issue. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords speak of being blind to a situation, ignoring someone or something. Um, Someone trying to reach out to you, but they can't get through because they blocked. Maybe you blocked somebody and you're not unblocking them. Maybe you feel like you are being blocked or being held back from something. Okay. So I see you evaluating a situation and seeing or trying to figure out what you need to get or what you need to get rid of in order to get to this creation that you are creating. Because it seems like you are brewing something up. You figured out something that you may have been blind to. You had some weight up on your shoulders that actually brought you to where you are now, to choosing, to knowing what to choose when it comes down to the two of wands. You're going to either choose your creativity here, or you're going to have to find another way to go with the flow of things. Now I'm going to read these cards because I like to talk about what they mean. So, like the first card we pulled is the issue or question at hand. Set your intentions on the issue or question at hand. And remember that this first card represents the center of things. This card is an indication as to the nature of the question and its current position and significance in your life. The Seven of Shields. It speaks of reward, profit, business, and magic. In the fourth branch of the Mabinigo, we encounter the adventures, the often and misadventures of the children of Dawn, mother goddess of the British Isles. Here we see two members of the family, Math, the great magician, and his nephew, Gideon. They are in the act of creating the Maiden of Flowers. Blotted as a bride for Arahad's abandoned son, Lula gives as the snows of winter melt and the spring can almost be tasted on the still chilly air. The great magicians take to their magic to alter the course of Liu's life, to give him a name, to let him bear arms, and to marry a woman, albeit one who is not of a race of this earth. There is enormous power in this card, but it is one of paradox and contradiction. Whatever one sows, one must also reap. This card this card holds us accountable for our actions. To an extent, this is a card that allows us to actively observe the fruits of our labors by actually using the skills, talents, and abilities that we have worked for to create our transform. Here is an art of magic, the result of years of training, practice, and hard work. The magical element is perplexing, for in the fourth branch of the Mavenigo Mat and Gwydian's creation of Bloodud causes future problems. Bloodud will not conform. She thinks for herself. But where did her consciousness come from? Was it there all the while as an aspect of the spirit of nature, or did the magicians create it and subsequently reap the consequences? In the ordinary world, the same attributes can be applied to our tasks, careers, and projects. It is a card that expresses the meaning that we have found in our work and worldly achievements. The divinatory meaning to this card is that you have done well and succeeded in your tasks. You can sit back and watch the fruits of your labors grow and flourish. Your perseverance and hard work had paid off. It has paid off. Business and momentary projects are flourishing, but you will need to be careful and maintain the vision of quarreling and arguments will ensue. If this card was reversed, you have a handful of potential meanings, from a lack of vision to the stalemate of work or a career that is unfulfilling. It suggests someone who has worked hard at something and yet it still has not flourished. This is a card that, when reversed, implies one is stuck in a job or project where the heart has gone out of it. There is a general feeling of dissatisfaction. And you may be feeling dissatisfied about the challenges that you have taken on, and it may have been a lot of hard work keeping this up. So that's when you get the 10 of Wands, and 10 speak of completions. You have completed a cycle that was hard, but it won't hold you down for long. So the second card is the material aspects. Material aspects. It represents the land or material aspect of the question at hand. Here we are looking at the issues that you are to do with physically, money, possessions, work, what offers foundation and stability in the physical world. So this speaks of burdens, obligations, and a victim of one's own success. The symbolism of this card is blatantly obvious. And in the matter, it does exactly as it says on the 10. There is a burden, and your shoulders are carrying them, bent almost in double. The wands this figure carries have become such a burden that he can barely carry on, and yet he must. For the goal is the destination, and his prize the glory, victory, and kudos that his creativity and seeds of thought have made manifest. All that matters is a sense of obligation to what has been started, and whilst he may never see it through to conclusion, the ones he carries are defining him to an extent. But who is it that does the defining? And will the castle ever be reached? So, will you make it there? Is the question. Will you get to all that you desire? Will you get there? Is it coming? The divinatory meaning of this card is that it seems obvious that you have taken on too much. You are overstretched and, in a manner, a prisoner to your own success and sense of responsibility. But remember that your responsibility, one needs to master the ability to respond to situations in a manner that prevents them from overwhelming us. This card is a warning that your hard work, whilst paying off, possibly abundantly, is leaving its mark on your face, on your wrinkles, on your blood pressure. You are no doubt incredibly stressed. You need to delegate, prioritize, and realize that your achievements should be for your benefit, not for the sole reason that it makes you look good. Reverse, you have taken on too much, and in so doing, you have become overstretched that you are failing at your task. Don't spread this too thin. If things carry on as they are, there is only one sure conclusion. You will collapse on in a heap on this path, either physically, psychologically, or emotionally. Enough is enough. Your burdens need sharing, and your sense of responsibility and obligations need to be reassured. So it's saying that you can count on others to help you lift up some of this weight up off of your shoulders. There is someone there to help you lift any weight that you have. They are there for it. So then we speak of the Two of Wands, which is the emotional aspect of the question at hand. Okay. And hold on. This represents the sea, the realm of sea, and the emotions. Here you can glean what the heart is saying about this matter and how the querent is responding emotionally to the issue. The Two of Wands. One second. So the Two of Wands speaks of success, boredom, and weariness. The world that you hold in your hands is quite the achievement. See it there, glowing brightly, held with pride and sense of accomplishment. But does this actually satisfy you, or have you become walled in by the tyrants of your own success? We can see the edges of your passion and determination, will and imagination. As the dragon that has climbed the walls of your castle with you, a wand held between its teeth as a reminder of the potential that still burns within you. But did you, in fact, trap yourself with your own successful endeavors? It is easily done, particularly if you strove for success but not necessarily for your own benefit. Were you trying to fulfill a sense of duty or obligation? Or maybe just trying to prove to yourself, or maybe just trying to prove yourself to the rest of the world, a family member, or a peer. The divinatory meaning of this card is you are incredibly successful, but its present in your reading is also but its presence in your reading is also asking you to consider if you are entirely satisfied. The figure looks absolutely bored, stiff, walled in, a victim of his own success. The river reaching off into the distance implies that a journey can still be made, but what vessel will you use? Your determination or your inherent talent to be successful? And this time to do something that actually brings you a sense of happiness, contentment, and accomplishment. Be guided by your own inner wisdom. If this card is reversed, you have had enough of mediocrity, and something has stirred you into motion. You suddenly have the wisdom to realize that you just can't stay here anymore. Success or not, unless it brings to your life meaning and value, it is pointless. The time has come to get into the turret and jump off. The dragon will spread its wings and catch you. Hey, I like that. Jump for your dreams. Jump for what you feel is for you, not others. You've been doing a lot for others, and it's been a burden on you. And that's what we have. The last card, which is our the last card is your creativity, the creative aspect to your question. It explores the realm of the sky, the place of thought, creativity, imagination, and inspiration. These are the intangible things. These are the intangible things surrounding the issue at hand. So, this card speaks of indecision, ignorance, and fear of what may come. At first glance, it appears that the figure in this card may be acting defensively, but this observation would be incorrect. The swords are not held poised as if ready for battle, or the contrary, they serve to protect, albeit futilely, the fragile state of this individual's mind. Notice the landscape around her. It is almost devoid of color, stripped of joy and wonder. The sea is behind her, and whilst she surely must be aware of it, she ignores that too. Maybe for her to turn around and allow the power of the sea to wash over her thoughts, her mind might explode into a red mist. On the other hand, it may be healed. She, however, is not going to take the risk. All the cards that occupy the second position in the minor arcana refer to relationships, the making of conscious decisions, and having the wisdom to implement them into the human experience. Here we see almost an anesthesis of those qualities, for it does not seem apparent that there is a relationship here at all. But of course, there is. This individual is experiencing a tumultuous relationship with her own mind, and it is slowly killing her and separating her from everything that could be wondrous in her life. The human mind is as powerful as an atomic bomb, more so, for it was the human mind that created such tools of destruction. This ability to use our mind to poison and destroy starts when we stop listening to ourselves and the heart turns sour by means of a poisoned mind. The divinatory meaning of this card is: you are faced with a situation where indecision will lead only to separation, numbness, and potential toxicity. It may be that you have taken on so much that you cannot see the way ahead clearly. Amidst all these choices, it makes more sense to you to simply shut yourself away and ignore them. This will not alleviate the issue. It will be there waiting for you when you least expect it. This is a card of someone firmly sitting on the fence, too scared to move, lest something goes horribly wrong. But is there really anything to suggest it will? Take off that blindfold. You are more than capable of doing so. After all, it was you who positioned it in the first place. Your mental and emotional well-being are being hindered by indecision, and overthinking the situation will do no good. Your heart does not need protecting. It needs to be set free. If this card was reversed, this card suggests falsehood and a deep and damaging disloyalty. The side, the other side of the sword, however, can bring about clear thought and vision. Which will it be? So, you see clearly. You see clearly now. And I feel you know what direction you're going to go in. And no, it's nothing that can stop you from creating or excelling within whatever you put your heart and mind to. Thank you, my Libra. Wish you love and light. Namaste.